Well, greetings and salutations to the Facebook YouTube communities, and if you're watching this on StreamYard, I honestly don't know how. I'm Tyler Randall. As you can see from my Chiron, I am Reverend Sergeant Tyler Randall. I'm using both of my titles for pomp and circumstance reasons. And salutations. This is Tavern Talk with Tyler Randall. Obviously, that's my name. So, I think something is today. It feels like it's like a day, like something happened today, like an anniversary. I think it was Pearl Harbor. No, that was January. Was that in January? No, that's December 7th. Sorry. It was definitely 9/11, except January is the first month. 9 is September. No, it's not September 11th. Oh, that's right. It was the infamous insurrection. As you can see, by the way, let's get this out of the way. This is a true story. A man gave me this shirt for free, like right after the election. He was on the dock. I work where there's a dock. And he was like, "Hey, you want a shirt?" I said, "Sure, man." He goes, "Yeah. Vote for Trump and everything." And I was like, "Yeah, I did. It's all good, whatever, man." And I wore the shirt, and I thought the Q stood for quality because this is a nice shirt. Dude, it's so soft. It's so soft. But then I immediately realized I couldn't go out in public because of all of the QAnon conspiracy theorists out there. And it's hilarious. So I haven't worn this out of my house, but it is a quality, Q for quality, comfortable shirt. So like when I'm lounging around, I'll wear this shirt. And I'm like, man, if somebody saw me, if I got a pizza and some pizza guy would just be like, "Oh shit, trust the plan, my friend," gave me the fucking high sign. And I was like, I don't know, man. Whatever, dude. That didn't happen. But the guy giving me the shirt did happen. So the QAnon thing, get into that in a minute. But first, we are in a tavern. So come on there, Bush Light. You know what it is? Because you know what? About that time. Oh, you assholes out there are going to call me a redneck anyway. As you can see, I'm wearing my Trump 2024 hat with the God King gold medallion there. That's also more for a joke than anything. I do love this hat. I did buy it. I did buy it. I personally owned it before. I didn't buy it for this. So yeah, okay, whatever, man. It's all good. Now, that all being said, let's get into the January 6th conspiracy thing, okay? The Q thing. Oh, he's going to take it over. It's going to happen. I honestly had a lot of high hopes. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I was like, well, maybe something will happen. But the whole insurrection thing, it doesn't land with me because I'm like a middle of the road, go to work every day, blue collar American, okay? And most Americans don't give a shit. The only people that give a shit are the ones that are just spoon feeding themselves CNN constantly, day in and day out. The ones that are watching Rachel Maddow and just being like on the edge of their seats, like, "Oh my God, we almost lost everything." It calm the fuck down, first of all. All you assholes that are sitting there watching Rachel Maddow, watching Brian Stelter, and thinking that democracy is going out the window, that's not true. Anytime they talk about democracy, attack on democracy, democracy dies in darkness, as the Washington Post would say. I don't know where I heard this, but I heard it. Substitute the word democracy for liberalism. And when I mean liberalism, I mean like leftism, the socialist, the really far left people. There's really no good word for them because they're slippery. They don't have a name. They're like Antifa. They're just like out there, man, and they only show up whenever there's something to burn or cops to kill. And that's just the truth. So I kind of in full rant mode there, and it's kind of hard to rein myself in. It really is. I have a really, really hard time with this. I kind of don't care. And you know why I don't care? Because the day after Trump got elected, they were burning fires in the street and attacked the Capitol. During the Women's March, they stormed the Capitol. During the hearing for Brett Kavanaugh, they stormed the Capitol. A bunch of people stormed the fucking Capitol in a lot worse ways, okay? And plus, now that we know from the Governor Whitmer stuff and all the agent provocateurs, that video of them coming out, where they're like, "We need to get them. We need to go over there and get them." It's all kind of like a hoax. The FBI has to justify their $10 billion budget that has never gone down since 9/11, okay? They spend an immense amount of money on counterterrorism, although most of the terrorism is abroad and not at our own shores, unless, you happen to be in a gay club in Florida. Whatever, sometimes it comes to our shores. But it's not all the time. You're not going to die from a terrorist attack, statistically speaking. And that's what the talking point they go with all the time. But that doesn't mean that we should just open our borders to anybody that wants to fucking come in. Oh, wait, we're doing that. Shit. I'm in full rant mode right now, straight up. This is a rant day, just letting you know. I cannot help it. I mean, we have right now open borders to the million that we know of. that have come through. Sorry, I'm not looking at the comments at all. I see the comments. Sorry, let me get to the comments here. There's my buddy Tim. What's up, Julian? Nectar of the gods. That's right. This will calm me down. Reading the comments will calm me down. My God. Yes, Tim. Elizabeth did have the baby. Oh, she said, congratulations. That's right. Elizabeth did have her baby. She was on the last stream. So congratulations to her. Here she is. There's Tim saying congratulations. What's up? Elizabeth, we are praying for you, and we're so happy for you to welcome your, oh my gosh, third child. Good gracious. You got your family's getting huge. Jerry, you need to start bringing home the bacon. You know what I'm saying? I said just a joke. It's just a joke. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, keep it going. Stay on track. Thank you, Julian. Thank you for keeping me on track. I'm in full rant mode. I just threw my phone. Okay. Anyway, so another thing that Tucker Carlson brought up. Yes, I occasionally watch Tucker Carlson. Can you not tell by the an appeal to heaven flag that I have on my wall and my QAnon shirt and my Trump hat that I watch Tucker Carlson? I happen to watch him sometimes. So he brought up the fact that the pipe bomb guy has never been found. Yes, pipe bombs were laid at the the Republican offices, Democrat offices all around the Capitol. They found them. They were real pipe bombs, and none of them were detonated. And they have people's phones that have video of this guy, and nobody's looking for him. Nobody's looking for the pipe bomb guy. They want to get grandma who walked through the Capitol, or a guy that picked up the lectern. By the way, Chip Gaines, it totally looked like Chip Gaines. We all know it. We all know it was. That's why Joanna divorced his ass, because he was over there fucking taking Nancy Pelosi's lectern, fucking waving at the camera. Oh, Magnolia Farms, we love you so much. That's not the point. I'm saying that's not. I keep saying anyway because I don't have a really good like segue because like I'm fucking heated about this. So they only have January 6th. You notice they backed off of COVID. With no science whatsoever, they backed off COVID and said, "Well, that's 5 days, whatever. As long as you're not sick, okay." We're losing the optics war with COVID because regular blue collar Americans are sick of it. No pun intended, but that's a fucking good one. Americans are sick of it, so they're like, whatever, okay, it's going away. So midterms are coming up. Let's kind of ease the gas on that, and let's put the gas up on the damn January 6th shit, because January 6th is going to be the new way that they use. As a cudgel, they're going to use that as a cudgel. Anybody that's in a Tea Party or a conservative movement, or that's going to try to primary a sitting Republican, like in the county where I live, if somebody like myself or somebody that's like-minded, that's intelligent and a constitutionalist wants to get involved and jump in there and is up, they're going to use it as a stick. That guy's a January 6th person. I'm already on video wearing a stupid Q shirt, which, by the way, I've already said I don't believe in Q. Anybody that is anonymous and they won't reveal themselves to you, you should automatically question who their fucking motives. Because if they won't reveal themselves to you, how do you know what they're revealing to you is true? Okay, they're not. It's not a whistleblower. Whistleblowers eventually reveal themselves. Okay, after So Q is just a comfortable quality. Q for quality. It's a comfortable shirt. Sorry. I do have a Trump hat because I did vote for Trump. I don't worship the guy. I do think I was the only one to criticize him at fucking Politicon 2019. And RT, Russian State TV, the only one that published my interview. I got interviewed by everybody. LA Times, New York Times, Washington Times, all the times. And the RT cropped my MAGA hat out because I was talking about, Trump ran on he could end the debt in 5 seconds. And then he didn't. And then he's getting a trade war with China, which turned out to actually work. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't think that tariffs were a good idea because I'm not really for tariffs. Okay. Sorry. Rant mode. I said, bringing it back. Thanks again. Yeah, Tim, satanic panic. Satanic panic of 2020. That's exactly what January 6th is going to be. It's going to be just like the satanic panic. They're going to come get your kids, except it turns out that all of the people that have hijacked the LGBT movement are the ones coming for your kids. And they all happen to be on the far left. So you have a better chance of not getting molested or raped by a conservative person than you do for a leftist. And that's just a fact. And that's not me being funny. I'm being flippant because I don't know what to do other than laugh. But it's true. And everybody knows it's true. When you say something that's axiomatic, that rings true, that's why they say that's what that saying means. It rings true. When you hear it, that sounds right. Sounds about right. So we had a little bit of a kerfuffle, right? So people got out of hand. They're trying to say, they'll say, so the Democrats and the Republicans like Ted Cruz, turns out, Ted Cruz is a smart motherfucker. Okay. He is a super intelligent guy. He's super articulate, unlike myself right now, because I'm just going up the wall with this crap. But he comes out and says, oh, it's a terrorist attack. Unless this is like a setup to an epic slam dunk for him to get like on the January 6th commission and then just blow it wide open, I don't see him being that type of guy. But I think he's probably setting a precedent. I'm not going to apologize for him because I think what he said is absolutely stupid and out of his fucking mind. But if it is some sort of setup to a slam dunk, it will be epic. If not, fuck Ted Cruz. Just like fuck Dan Crenshaw. Because he's one of those guys that is just like a wolf in sheep's clothing, Dan Crenshaw. I have a lot of sympathy for the guy. You know, he has problems with his only good eye, you know, and his obviously he's missing his other one. But he is very Harvard, very globalist on a lot of issues. And I don't like that. Now, he is very much for individual liberty. For some reason, I don't know how you can hold those, you know, diametrically opposed viewpoints at the exact same time. It's called doublethink, and maybe he learned it at Harvard. I don't know. Or maybe there's a little fucking robot inside his eye patch pulling the goddamn levers. Not sure. But what I do know is, I have to tell you a story because it just popped in my head about my drill instructor, okay? He had an eye patch. His name was drill instructor Sergeant Murch, and he looked like Jake Busey. He had the big teeth. He was gaunt, and he was shaved bald, and he had an eye patch because he had lost his eye in Nasiriyah in the initial push through Iraq, okay, in like 2003. This is in 2005. Pink Eye was going through the barracks, right? And this dude says, I swear to God, if one of you motherfuckers gives me pink eye, I'm gonna murder you. And no shit, the next day he had pink eye, and I did more push-ups than I ever fucking did my entire life because and I swear to God, he could still see you. He could still see you through the fucking, oh my God. Anyway. I'm sorry, you know, Dan Crenshaw, please I don't wish pink eye on you. I'm just saying it's a really funny story. I'm going to drink part of my beer so I can calm down. Bush Light. Let's get the sound of that in there. You love to listen to it. This is a zany episode anyway. I wanted to be measured and serious, but this is a tavern, man. This is how people talk. Sometimes somebody gets up on that fucking stool and they get all, they get a little bit upset. My wife's probably downstairs going, what the fuck? Shut up. Keep it down. I'm working. That's what she's saying. Anyway, so back to January 6th. They break a couple things. Some obvious Antifa guys, because they have a bunch of provocateurs coming in, changing into Trump clothes. Nobody wants to talk about that. They break shit. For the most part, all the people that are in the back were never told not to come in. All the video that has been released so far has shown that police are going, yes, please come inside. All the cops inside. Some of the cops outside got into some physical altercations with some people. Obvious FBI and CIA plans. It's obvious. At this point, I just wrote a paper for my college, and this is the worst part is I keep getting A's where I just talk shit on the FBI. They were talking about how the FBI comes up with their budgetary requirements. So, well, we need $10 billion because if we stop 9/11 times 1,000, even if we stop it in its infancy, we can still kind of fit. There's like it's like an insurance company, right? An insurance company coming up with how they fucking charge you a bunch of money. Excuse me, I apologize, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up because there's no result. Because there's no tangible result. They don't catch that many terrorists, even if you look. And then I wrote one on fusion centers, which you don't know you have them in your town, but you fucking do. So you have these fusion centers that usually work with your state's Bureau of Investigation. In Tennessee, it's called the TBI. In California, it'd be the CBI, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what they do is they employ state-level employees to sit there and just scrape all of the blotters, all of police, sheriff department, prison files, even cold case stuff to try to find patterns so that they can predict crime, pre-crime. The Minority Report shit is real, okay? I don't want to sound like Alex Jones, but that Minority Report shit is real, and it's happening. The problem is it doesn't work for terrorism, and that's the truth. It has never, not one time since the implementation of fusion centers, have they ever had any intel that materially helped stop a terrorist attack or the planning of an attack or the imminency of an attack or somebody given money for training for an attack. It doesn't happen, and the FBI admits this, okay? That being said, so we have all, they need to justify their budget. So they need to get 12 dudes to go try to get 14 other guys to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer and take them to an illegal explosives sale where they say, bring the money and we'll sell you the explosives. None of the guys brought the money and they still got arrested. If you didn't bring the money to the fucking buy, how the fuck are you going to buy the explosives? That's blown wide open. We have video of these guys. Not only are they working, so at this point, is Antifa an FBI psyop? I don't know, but they sure are using the fuck out of it. They sure are dressing up like Antifa. Those college students with their Vineyard Vines shirts and shit, and be like, "Oh, hello, fellow citizen. I too want to insurrection." Get out of here. Did I just get kicked off? I hope not. Jerry, please interrupt me because I need somebody to talk some sense. All right. Jerry says, if you can't see it, just listening, is personally, I've got a little problem with the January 6th. I have a problem with the government. Take your anger to the government. Would love to see BLM crowd push their way into the government mansion, state legislatures and Capitol, or even the White House. Take your issues to the source of the problem, not the innocent communities being looted. Exactly. And by the way, I'm going to speak to what I saw here in Nashville. I actually went to one of the Black Lives Matter rallies. And by the way, Jerry, they are taking their frustrations to the government, except they're only bringing fire. They're frustrated. They use fire as the form to express their frustrations because apparently interpretive dance doesn't fucking work. There are still scorch marks on the sides of the federal courthouse building here in downtown Nashville. I went to their Black Lives Matter rally after work one day. I literally was wearing, because I was still driving a truck at the time, I was literally wearing a blue button-up Dickies work shirt. I was literally the only blue-collar guy there. And the first speaker, they get up and they're like, this capitalist white system is holding us down. And there's like 20 people there. They were going to shut down the War Memorial. They didn't have enough people because the cops started showing up and putting up light plants. And then I spied with my little eye an unmarked white van drive up to the Capitol building, and I watched a bunch of state troopers in their tactical gear get out and go inside the Capitol building because they had intel. Obviously, they had somebody in the crowd. They had intel that would be moved to the steps of the Capitol, where, unfortunately, a few days later, one guy pushed a cop and was too feeble because they eat soy and their bones are weak, and he fell down and hit his head and got fucked up. I think he died. I don't care because there's deference, and I also don't care because of deference. We'll go with that. Not because I'm evil, but also maybe I'm evil. That's not the point. So they moved the entire thing. They realized they're not going to shut down the War Memorial, right? There was one guy that I went and talked to who was standing over by the Iraq and Afghanistan Memorial with his arms crossed holding a flag. And I was like, hey, bro, what's up? And he goes, I don't give a shit what they say, what they do, but they're not getting this memorial. And I was like, cool, I'll stand here with you. And at a certain point, it was like 6, 7, 8 guys at all OIF and Enduring Freedom events all come up, and all of a sudden now all the fucking purple hairs and the Black Lives Matter and the Antifas are going, fuck, we're about to be outnumbered because 8 of us could have whipped 85 of them. That's just the truth. That's another axiomatic thing that rings true, doesn't it? When 8 slightly out of shape, as I like to say, athletically chubby Iraq vets could beat up 85 Antifa, and that's pretty fucking true. I digress again. Keep me on track, Jerry. Thank you. Please keep me on track. But Jerry's right. There is a place for redress. And January 6th was a very good thing for that, except when you have the provocateurs pushing in gates, when you have Antifa breaking windows, literally just black bloc. If you don't know what black bloc is, look it up. Oh, did I just get kicked off again? Fuck. Oh, there we go. We're back. Jeez. I hope I'm not getting kicked off because of what I'm talking about. Hey, feds that are listening, what's up? I mean no harm. It's on Minecraft. It's a joke on Minecraft. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, so we have black bloc guys breaking windows. We doing all sorts. Majority of people just stay inside the ropes. Ooh, oh, that's nice. Ooh, I've always wanted to come. I just never did. You know what I mean? So now that I've gotten the rant out of my way, I'm starting to cool down. Jerry Brisson point. Redress your government. Back constitutionalist candidates in primaries. The Democrats have already been in this. A la AD, a la the squad. Rashida Tlaib, all those people. They get all of these super far leftist, pseudo Marxist, neo-Marxist, however the fuck, whatever you want to say, color. It all stems from the same shit, from the same collectivist, community organizing, central planning, build back better, all Great Reset. It's all planning. We can plan it for you. You're not going to own anything, and you'll be happy. Boom. Exactly what the World Economic Forum says. It's all these people on the far left. We'll just call them commies because it's so super easy to identify. At the baseline, they are communists. They want to redistribute your wealth into their pockets. That's what it is. They've already primaried a bunch of fogies. Okay, there are Republicans in your state, in your House of Representatives. If you're in a Tennessee, flip those motherfuckers out of their chairs. They don't need the money. They've already been. Chances are they've been there for fucking years, 15 years. Kick them out. Take their spot. I mean, I have a half a mind to do it myself. The problem is, I'll get shut down 5 seconds campaign because the Republican Party would shut me down. Okay, they wouldn't let me campaign. They kick me off Facebook like I already am all the time, constantly getting kicked off. I don't know why. My stream's not loading. There's the stream. I swear, something's happening. Either there's high traffic or something's happening. I'm getting kicked off. Tim says China 2049. Very true. I was talking about the World Economic Forum. That's very true. How's it going, Josh? What are you trying to say? What sixth event was manufactured, in my opinion? Okay, good question. So the portion that I think was manufactured is all after the fact. And here's why. I watched a lot of it happen live, and I didn't see a lot of the day. It was like 1.2 million. I imagine they overcharge. I'm pretty sure the Capitol overcharges like a motherfucker to fix a window. Also, I'm sure that there has to be special specifications, and also their weird shapes, and getting a glazier out there to do that kind of work. So with there being that kind of damage, yeah, okay. Charge them with destruction of government property, hit them with their $10,000 fine. Straight up. Nobody's going to jail for sedition or treason. Nobody's getting hanged from the gallows in the square. They put up a fence that's still there, I believe. I believe they took the fence down and they put it back up. And it's all for optics. All the manufacturing happened after. There is still something like 14,000 hours of unreleased video from the Capitol Police, who, by the way, had 0 casualties that day, despite what the news said. Like Josh is asking, what part is manufactured? Oh, Officer I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Snitnik. They said he was bashed his brains in with a fire extinguisher. These rabid Trump supporters. Automatically, they're Trump supporters. There was obviously leftists there. There was obviously anarchists there. Those guys don't like Trump. So everybody that was there is a Trump supporter. If you wear red, white, or blue, it doesn't matter. They're all Trump supporters because they need to tie them to Trump. But the problem is the narrative falls apart as soon as you try to tie it to Trump, because then you have to say it was planned, and the FBI already came out and said, "Oh, we couldn't find anything that was planned. None of it was Parler. It was on Facebook." Oh, okay. Well, cut Parler off from the internet anyway, right? Cut them off. But Trump planned it. It's like, okay, either it was planned or it wasn't planned. No, they just, but it was, now it's not planned, because if you bring up the pipe bombs as part of planning, no, that wasn't part of it. Forget about the pipe bomb. Shut the fuck up. The manufacturing comes afterwards. They say a Capitol Police officer was in the brains with a fire extinguisher. Never happened. Oh, well, he died the next day from injuries that nope, didn't happen either. Turned out to a heart problem. Okay? Turns out he had a heart problem, and he died. As we learned now, when about the time that the unnamed virus from unspecified origins was already coming around, all of the, I don't know, heart problems that everybody's been having afterwards, maybe he had COVID. I'm saying it out loud right now. Speaking of the dead, but that's a better possibility than had his brains bashed in with a fire extinguisher. Okay, he probably had pericarditis from the fucking coronavirus that was around in America at that time. That's not the point. Then Ashley Babbitt wants to talk about her, an Air Force veteran who was trespassing without and was murdered on Facebook Live, shot in the head. They would not release the name of the officer who did it, although they figured it out. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. You know why? Because I'm a regular American, fucking absorb myself with it. I just happen to know enough about it because they bombard everything with it all the time. News for 10 minutes every day. It's the whole year. There is not. I don't think CNN has led any broadcast of their primetime lineup. I don't think CNN has led a single broadcast on their primetime lineup with something less than January 6th. And it's like, Yo, a Capitol police officer murdered an Air Force veteran who was unarmed and a woman. And in the position she was in when she was climbing through the window, there was no better tactical option than to put a gun to her fucking chest and pull the trigger. You had 6 officers there. You couldn't have apprehended her. I mean, let's not disparage women here, but I'm pretty sure that 2 Capitol police officers that are males could have easily handled her. I mean, she wasn't a superhero. Could have handled me. Put one guy against my ass. This is not a pissing contest. This is me stating clearly that she had her hands and feet on a window that she went through. And this guy walked up, pop, back up. And they won't release his name because they don't want to pay the wrongful death. Because she was murdered by the government, by your government. The government is willing to murder you if you vote Republican. That is 100% true and cannot be changed. The government will murder you if you vote for, not even Republican at this point, if you voted for Trump. That's what it really is. I'm not Republican. She's not a Mitch McConnell supporter, okay? She's not a big old Mitt Romney fan. She voted for Trump. You know why? Because he can't be bought. And even though he had a lot of liberal tendencies, okay, he passed the omnibus bill because they promised him a wall and then they didn't give it to him. That's a bait and switch. But then he passed another one because he passed the virus. And then by the time he saw through all of Fauci's bullshit, it was too late. Okay? That's also true. You dispute it. It is factual. It boggles my mind. Because you voted for a guy that didn't want to play ball with the Uniparty, you deserve to be shot in the chest and forgotten about. But I'm going to use the day that you were murdered on as a cudgel to stop any conservatives, actual conservatives, from getting into the friggin' House of Representatives at all costs. And we don't want to lose the presidency in 2024 because at this point, fucking Alex Jones could fucking win the Republican nomination against anybody they put up. And that's just also true. When I say factually, whenever I get hyperbolic like that, and I say that's factually true, it is, and it cannot be argued with, but I say it with such conviction and fervor that I sound crazy. And I assure you I'm not. I have my faculties. I am not even drunk. I wish I was, because then I'd be probably more chilled out. Sorry. Josh, I hope that answered your question. Tim, once again, said something's going on in the stream, glitching like the Matrix. Yeah, I'm noticing it at the pinwheel. So every time the pinwheel comes up, I'm going to stop, try to reorganize my thoughts. And Tim's right. I got to take a drink. Drink break, you guys. All right. This part of the show, I'm going to make us a break in the middle of the show and talk about something light and fluffy, literally light and fluffy. And then we're going to come back to where do we go from here. Okay. So I'm going to bring up a video. It's going to come up sideways. I'm sorry. I need to stop filming vertically on my phone like it's 2013 and I have an iPhone. So as most of you know, we had it's a little bit of weather down here in Tennessee. A little bit of snow came down, about 6 or 7 inches, as I was saying earlier. About 2 16-ounce beer cans worth of snow. And here's a video of it. If it will play. It's not. Oh, I got to play it again? Okay. Pause. Play. Play, pause. Pause, play. Bring it back. Right, there it goes. Here we go. Here we go. The stupid cousin Eddie hat. You're wearing headphones. I apologize. Oh, cold as hell. Look at them tootsies. Look at those tootsies. Oh, yeah, you got some good-looking feet, my friend. Not that I'm saying that you got good-looking feet, but you got good-looking feet. What's up? Yeah, we got a little bit of snow here. Let's go over here to the brand thing so I can show you some pictures of it. Here we go. I had a great time. I went for a walk today, smoked a cigar, and drank out of my mug. Oh, yeah. That is the 32 ounces of that Belgian blonde ale mixed with bourbon whiskey. Had a great old walk. This guy didn't have such a good day. Okay. By the way, everybody's driving 14 miles an hour on a salted highway at 10 in the morning, and this guy fucking doofs it into the wall and then abandons his car. Didn't even try to get it out. Didn't wait for the tow truck. Didn't turn on his flashers. Didn't put out a fucking vest or a cone. He just took off. He just said, bye, fuck my car. I have never lived anywhere in my life where people abandon their cars more than in Tennessee. You'll just see they're just strewn about on the side of the road. They're like, well, that one's done. Like they're fucking throwing away a mask or a fucking pair of gloves. So when a doctor gives you a prostate exam, he's just like, well, done with those. And they probably equally smell like shit because they're not great cars. You can tell. All right. Now that we got away with the fluffy stuff, the white fluffy stuff, and doesn't look like it's going to get any better. So since I'm not going to work tomorrow, take a drink with me, man. Also, in the chat, tell me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're drinking. Let's see. I need a sponsor. Oh, yeah. Like, anybody's going to fucking sponsor me, especially after this episode. A screenshot of my fat, folded body with a QAnon shirt. They're definitely, yeah. Johnson & Johnson's getting right on that. I'm telling you. Baby shampoo. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Does Trojan make baby condoms, like tiny little for little wieners? Do they? Because if so, hit me up. I'm your man. Not because of me, but friend of mine, somebody I know that if you could tell me where you buy them, that'll be great. Let's see. My buddy Nate, what's up, Solis? Said gonna pour a glass of Jameson. Ooh, Jameson Black Barrel. That's the good shit right there. I realize it's January 6th, but man, I can't get by. I can't get by with this conspiracy theory bullshit. The more I learn about Homeland Security and the more that I learn about the government, it's frightening and scary, and Aldous Huxley fucking hit the nail on the head. Everybody is too wrapped up in their technology to give a shit. They're too wrapped up in giving themselves pleasure to give a shit. They're numb. They don't want to live where the savages are and make money the hard way, work the hard way, live unencumbered by their freaking pain, the drugs that take their pain away. Now I realize I'm saying that while I'm holding a beer and drinking it as if it's medication, but I'm a hypocrite. Sorry about that. Anyway, some Black Barrel sounds delicious. Yes, Tim, I do have a micropene. Thank you. So Jerry's drinking, Shiner Candied Pecan. You know what? I can't get into that, man. I think maybe it's too sweet for me. I really, really think I think that's the problem. I didn't like the Shiner barbecue either. Okay, now we're getting into real tavern talk with this hoe. The Shiner barbecue was disgusting. Okay, and here's why. It tasted like somebody took a brisket off a smoker and squeezed a bunch of juice into the Shiner bucket, and then you're just like, what the fuck? I don't want to taste that. Now, I realized what they were going for. Okay, they were going for like a Rausch beer where you toast the malt, right? And then you can't hardly find a Rausch beer anywhere. But when you do, it's absolutely delicious. Elizabeth says, finger condoms. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. And also, where do you buy them? Not for me, but for a friend. Russell made it. What's up, Russ? Thanks for the boat ride, man. Appreciate it. Jerry says, not sure what I think about it either. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's got a good... I think the after flavor, once you're done drinking it and you start drinking something else, you kind of like, you're like, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad. It tricks you into drinking it again, but it's so sweet in my eyes, honestly. Tim says that Oculus was pretty cool. I tried that last night. That's the downfall of man coming soon, virtual reality. Oh, yeah, the metaverse, right? That's a good point, Tim. The metaverse that's coming. They want you to be plugged in, jacked in. They're literally pitching you the Matrix. They're literally saying, hey, life sucks. Am I right? Maybe you should just all be poor, all go get a bunch of booster shots, and then and now you're disabled, according to Joe Biden. Now you're disabled, right? Now you have to get a government check, and maybe just plug into your fucking metaverse and go work at your meta job and get your meta credits so that you can have your toilet bucket and your gaming chair, and that's all you're gonna get. You're gonna live in a closet. It's so fucking stupid. The Matrix just had another movie come out. It's not like they're trying to fucking hide what they're doing. They're literally saying, please, can you please plug it into the Matrix? It's not so bad. It's really not that bad. What'd you say, Nick? Siliante. I don't speak that language, whatever that is. That was racist. I apologize. Sorry about that. What'd she say? Medical aisle with the rubber gloves. Oh yeah, for my friend. Hey, if you're listening, friend, that's where you go get them. Irish. What do you drink? Irish whiskey? You think I'm Irish? I mean, I am. Irish, but what are you calling me? Calling me a Mick? Is that what you're saying? Jeez. Oh my gosh. Let's look at the next one. What's a Gaelic? Oh, that's what Julian was saying. It's Irish. I think it means cheers. That's my Irish gnome telling me. My Irish gnomes are telling me that as I drink. Yeah. Yes, and then of course the comment. We get it for years. Okay. Like the TV show. Man, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and I got shorts made of milkins. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Norm. Everybody knows Norm, okay? I'm joking. Mary Edwards. Hi, Mary. Have you gone on any of the Bourbon Trail tours yet? Very good question. As a matter of fact, I have right here, get that out of the way, my official, this is professional, Bourbon Trail passport. Oh, there you go. There's the camera. What's up? That's my passport. Okay, where have I gone? So some of these are coming soon, and I still haven't been. Oh, because I folded the paper all fucked up. So we have. I didn't write anything down. I just got the stamps. I need to write down. I have Angel's Envy, which I don't focus. So Angel's Envy, Bullet. Bullet was the shit at the Spitzelweiler, and Evan Williams. That's the only three I've been to. I've been to those three. And I gotta say, Evan Williams, even though it was like underwhelming, they had a lot of pizzazz, right? So you go in the Evan Williams one. That was the hat I was wearing in the first episode. It's an Evan Williams hat. It says it on the back. That stupid, muffin hat that I was wearing. So you go in and they have like this secret room with like a safe, and then the safe cracker and then somebody has to get down and like do the combo, and then it opens into a room, and then they have a guy pouring shots. And I shit you not, there was a woman with a baby and a baby Bjorn, and she was saddled up to the bar with the baby. So the baby is literally like at the bar, like, and the mom was like, she's got total mom, like, spidey sense. She's got that mom spidey sense. She knows where the baby's hands are, even though she's talking to her friend. And she just kept moving the bourbon out of the reach of the baby like she was a ninja. It was fucking amazing to watch. And I went with my fantasy football crew. No better group of guys to go with. I mean, we were just fall down drunk. And then we drafted our fantasy teams. Okay, so fucking stupid idea. I still anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. That's the point. Thank you, Mary, for bringing that up. But yeah, dude, Bourbon Trail, check it out in Kentucky. I gotta go up there sometime. And she says, "What the fuck? That sounds like Kentucky, baby. Hell yeah, dude! It was such a good time. I need to come back up there. I went over to my buddy Travis's house, and he lives over 1692, and man, and it's huge. It's sprawling. This sprawling barrel houses are painted black. It's like. And the town is beautiful. It's like cobblestone. They have a nice historic downtown. Kentucky's legit pretty if you've never been there, for real. All right, Jerry coming back in. He goes, Devil's River out of San Antonio has a lot of awesome whiskey. Said, made the mistake of getting a couple of flights of samples last time. Doesn't remember most of that night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the best. See, that's the crazy part. Like we go. And they have you. They set down they're like, okay, this is the rye. And this one is Angel's Envy is finished in port wine barrels. It's delicious. The Angel's Envy for me, top notch. Probably one of my favorite bourbons in the world. Their rye is my favorite rye for sure. Like, Bullet makes an okay rye that's cheap. The reason Angel's Envy is so expensive is because they don't make a lot of it. But I still got to wait like 3 more years. 3 more years, and they were building new stills while I was there. But yeah, man. Gentry Brothers, I think, is made in Texas too. Gentry Brothers is like the first Texas bourbon whiskey. And I think Rebecca Creek. Rebecca Creek is weird though. Like it's very hot, like super, super duper hot. Like I don't think they mellow it because I think it's like a 3-year whiskey. Much like Daddy Rack, that the guy that came over from England and makes it here in Columbia, Tennessee. But he mellows his whiskey before he puts it out. Elizabeth says, she says, we're in the South. If you haven't seen a baby in a bar, you haven't lived. Or been to a house party and there's just a baby just walking around in the tall grass, and someone's like, "Whose baby is that?" And they go, "Oh, that's mine." Like, all right, no problem. Okay, we'll watch him. Yeah, and there's always the guy with a beer. There's always a guy with a bush like, "Don't worry, we'll watch him. Don't you go ahead." No, go eat. We got him. Everybody knows it's true. We've all been to that party, especially if you live in the South, for sure. Nate coming back in. Garrison. That's what I was trying to think of. Not Gentry Brothers. Garrison Brothers. That's some premier Texas whiskey right there. I tell you what, I enjoy it thoroughly. Much more than I enjoy that Busch Latte. By the way, it's gone already. It's gone. 12 ounces goes real quick. Gotta wet my whistle. You know what I'm saying? Gotta wet the whistle. So going strong for 40 minutes, right? I usually like to go too long, but also let's keep it going. Okay, we can go an hour and 15, whatever you guys want to do. If you guys want to keep bringing up stuff to talk about or comment, that's great. I really enjoy it. Thank you so much. I do need a sponsor. This is a good time for a sponsor break. Brought to you by Giant Wooden Mug Full of Whiskey and Beer. How you doing? Get drunk on internet for the people to watch and talk about stuff and sound crazy. That is the recipe for success. Thank you, Alex Jones. So, January 6th, where do we go from here? Where do we go? To be serious, we have to combat every single attempt. Anybody comes up, like, and even in casual conversations with your coworkers, like, I had a coworker the other day was like, well, the masks helped. And I was just like, no, they didn't. Now, I have this other coworker that me and her are on the same page. She actually lives next to a doctor who is an infectious disease expert. It's hilarious. So she's like, well, my doctor said, bah, 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 bah. He goes, well, what does your doctor do? And she's like, oh, he's an infectious disease expert. And he's like, oh, that's just an opinion. And I'm like, yeah, it's a medical opinion from somebody who is highly qualified. Like the last two people that were on Joe Rogan that were like, hey, this is all bullshit, you guys. It's all bullshit from the guy who invented the technology that is in the vaccine. He's like, hey, it probably won't kill you, but it's probably not the best thing for you if you're, 26 or 5. If you're 80 and you have a high chance of dying from it because you have a comorbidity, maybe take the chance, roll the dice, get that vaccine, bro. That's what it's for. Because you're not going to get the cytokine storm. I'm not saying that word right, but you know what I'm saying. But somebody who's 34, slightly overweight. Let's not go, okay, slightly overweight. I don't want to get a heart attack, bro. I'd rather get the sniffles, which I already did. I got the sniffles, and it didn't hit me hard. It hit my wife pretty hard. She lost her taste and smell and shit, and it took her a while to get back. That's not the point. Scotchy scotch, down into your belly. That's right, Tim. Get that shit. He said, censor anyone who doesn't agree with the narrative. Yeah. So thank you for bringing me back on point, Nate. So they're going to try to censor you, even if it's in casual, polite conversation, which I don't think a lot of people have anymore. But you need to push back on them. This is something that I've been doing for a long time online. And I know a lot of people don't have the stomach for it because they want to be nice people. They want to be liked. I don't care if I mock an intellectual retard and they get upset about it. Oh, how could you talk to me like that? Because you're an idiot. That's why. You sound stupid and what you're saying is wrong. And we need to mock you because especially nowadays with the internet, nobody's going to admit they're wrong. Okay. Now I'm going to say this right now, and I want everybody to record this clip to hold me accountable. I will admit if I say something that is factually wrong. If I'm saying something that's opinion and it just so happens to, be morally more right than another opinion, I'll say I'm correct and they're wrong. And okay, whatever. If it's subjective, it's subjective. But whenever I say something is a fact, chances are it's a fucking fact. And I want to hold myself to that standard because I don't like eating crow. I don't like admitting I'm wrong. So that being said, telling people, hey, no, masks don't work. According to the CDC, for a long time, they had meta studies where they've taken studies from like 1942 up until 2016, and they said, well, in a laboratory setting, it does not stop the spread of influenza because the fucking coronavirus is smaller than the damn mask itself. Also, it comes out the sides. Also, you're touching the mask. Also. Doctors go to special classes in med school to learn how to put on and take off PPE correctly and how to mitigate and use it correctly. It's for surgical procedures. So that when you have a runny nose, it doesn't drop down into your freaking kidney transplant. Okay? Calm down. It's not going to stop it. All right? Chances are you've had it or you're going to have it. So protect yourself how you see fit, because I'm not a doctor and I can't tell you what to do. But when somebody says something factually wrong, I'm going to say, nope, that's not right. Sorry. You need to tell people they're wrong. Because when other people hear you, they come up to you and they say, hey, man, that was right. You're right. You're totally right. Like I get people message me all the time privately. They're like, hey, I'm glad you're saying something because I can't keep making noise. And I know I do it with some flair and a little bit of humor and I'm a little bit bombastic. Cool. That's always been my style. I'm a fat theater kid. Okay. I just want people to like me. So, like, legitimately, I've had people come up to me and say, I cannot, because of my job, I cannot like what you say because I'll get fired. And that's like living in China. We should not live like that. I should be able to come on here and be like, fuck Trump, fuck Hillary, fuck everybody. Everybody can go to hell, suck my dick, and then I should be able to go to work. Jerry, he goes, didn't you tell me to fuck off yesterday? Like, yeah, I did. And I blasted it on the internet. You can watch it right now. Do you want to bring it up? We should be able to society. We did for a long time. But now we don't. Jerry, I didn't mean to say your name. It's just because I was reading it. Sorry. As censorship is the tool used when the lie loses its power. Correct. Censorship is the tool of somebody who loses the argument. And if they're not willing to lose power, they have to push the lie. It has to be real. They're trying to will it into existence as if they are doing some sort of magical spell. It's an incantation to them. They just keep saying over and over, oh, got to get a booster or you're going to die. Got to get a booster, you're going to die. Got to get a booster, you're going to die. January 6th, it was the insurrection. It was insurrection. And you go, by what measure was it an insurrection? By the dictionary definition? No, I'm surprised they haven't changed that yet. I'm dead serious. That's probably the next thing. The next thing is to be like, if an individual or group gathers and or breaks into a structure that is owned by the government, insurrection. Just the same way they changed the definition of herd immunity for COVID, the same way they changed the definition of what a vaccine is or what immunity is. At this point, what point is it to actually elect people if we're just going to take marching orders from the WHO, which has a puppet installed from the Communist Chinese Party as its head? Legitimately. That is a fact that you cannot dispute either. That is factually true. That is indisputable. Well, the CDC says, well, the guidance, that's another word you've heard a lot lately. The guidance. I know I'm vacillating between COVID and January 6th, but they're going hand in hand because the COVID narrative is the thing that they're using to try to lock you down. And the January 6th is the motive. Okay. Oh, no. We have this cool implementation here. We got this awesome thing where we're going to be like Australia and we're going to go arrest you on the street and put you in a fucking camp against your will. Which they do. That's a real thing that happens in a Western society. Everybody used to think of Australia as this just like more liberal America. No, it's not. It's Aussie Germany, bro. I'm so happy I thought of that joke. That fucking slaps. That joke is hot. Aussie Germany. A la 1939. Straight up. That's factually true, and you can't change it. You can't dispute it. So we're gonna get that here. The only thing that we have that's standing in the way is just 200 years of tradition based on a constitution for a republic, if you can keep it, ma'am. Thank you, Benjamin Franklin. Thank you, Jeff. As much as I hate Jefferson in his later years, the guy was smart, a lot smarter than me. Okay? These guys were not perfect gods to be worshipped, as some liberals will have you think that conservatives are just worshiping at the altar of George Washington. And it's like, dude, were they perfect guys? No, but they pledged their blood and their treasure to make something that transcended their own mortal and fallible selves. To err is human, as Shakespeare said. Not that you'd know, they don't fucking teach that in school anymore. This is crazy. We living in a time where Trump said they were going to pull down fucking Jefferson and Washington statues. And they fucking did. Why are you proving Donald Trump right? Just because I voted for the guy doesn't mean that I fucking worship him. But also, why are you proving him right? It makes me want to vote for him. And I'm not saying DeSantis is great either. He is just Trump light. The guy is honestly, he has an uncanny ability to inject himself on state issues into the national spotlight by saying, well, the Fed's fucking this up, but we're not doing that here in Florida. It's a really good tactic. Now, he has been pro-vaccine the entire time. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, so that doesn't bother me. But it does bother me that he is more of an insider. Do I think that if DeSantis gets elected in 24, that he's just going to go full neocon? I do. No offense. He's ABC. I kick my ass. But I think he's going to go full neocon a la, what's his name? Ryan, his first name, because he's forgettable as fuck, vanilla as shit. Paul Ryan. He's going to go the way of Paul Ryan and just be like, yes, Mitch McConnell, I'll do whatever you say. We need to get all those motherfuckers out of there. So, sorry, Nate. How are you? So we got Nate. said, and they all take the Trump vaccine. And you'll make it. That's very true. Operation Warp Speed was the the largest pharmaceutical rollout, right? It boggles my mind. They refused to want to do the vaccine. Oh, not if Trump gives it. I'm not getting that put in my arm. And it's 3 days later. Okay, everybody get in fucking line. Fucking take up one of the good parking lots over there at Nissan Stadium. We need it for the vaccines. Fuck. Dude, I feel really bad for all the Air National Guard guys that had to come out here and wear scrubs and a mask for fucking 12 hours a day to poke people in the nose with a goddamn Q-tip just so that they can get a PCR test, 8% chance of being fucking wrong. Just to have to miss work and get fucking paid for it, even though the government is paying my fucking company. All right, that's not a bash on my company specifically. A lot of companies did that, and honestly, why would you waste the money if you were getting it? Because also it comes with strings. It's not the point. The point is January 6th is going to change the world more so than 9/11 did, I think. 9/11 kicked off the apparatus by which the FBI is now attacking Americans in post-January 6th. So it gave them the apparatus to freaking go. Okay, so counterterrorism. Let's talk about counterterrorism. Counterterrorism is dried up across the world, okay? We don't have a war to fight anymore, let alone two. There's no counterinsurgency ops going. I mean, there are, but not any sanctioned ones, right? There's no armies and boots on the ground. So we have all of this money and all of these tools and drones and shit, and we don't want to lose our fucking funding, okay? I don't want to lose my GS-18 job as an analyst at the fucking FBI. So what do? We have to invent something to fight against. And guess what? It's a lot easier if you can just do what Obama did and scrape all your cell phone data and be like, that guy's a real little loud. That guy over there in Tennessee, yeah. I saw a screenshot of him wearing a QAnon shirt and a Trump hat. Maybe go pay him a visit. Maybe start watching him. Get a FISA warrant against him. Okay. Here, I heard that he PP'd on some hookers in Russia one time, even though he's never been there. And here's a dossier. Go ahead and give me a FISA warrant to spy on him. That literally happened. And I wrote a fucking paper on it, and guess what? I got an A. The problem is, I still got a fucking D in the class. That's not the point. I'm making it personal because I'm making it personal. That's what I'm doing. It's so crazy. So we have all of this pent-up rage and all these bullets for this gun, and the FBI's got nobody to shoot. We got nobody to shoot at. Or homegrown extremism. Even though, by the way, if you just read down past the first sentence of the paragraph on the FBI's website on any of the stuff that they're talking about homegrown extremism or HVEs, homegrown violent extremists, it says in plain English, there is currently no intelligence to support any homegrown violent extremist operations. They don't have the intel, which means it's not that they're not listening to us. It's not that they're not tapping our phones. It's not that they're not watching what we're buying and looking at online. It's that nobody's trying to do insurrection. So they have to make it up. They have to fake it. They have to send agent provocateurs to tell people. And by the way, the video of that one guy, I can't remember his fucking name. I have it saved here, I think. Let me look at my phone if you'll just bear with me really quick. Where he's like, we need to go in the building. We need to go inside the building. And then everybody in the crowd just starts yelling, Fed, Fed, Fed. His name's Ray Epps, by the way. His picture, Ray Epps' picture, was on the FBI's website saying, who is this man? And then his picture was magically fucking taken off. And he has not been charged with anything. Even though he is one of the only people, one of the only ones out of the 14,000 hours of footage that they have of somebody saying, we need to go in the building. He's the only one. Trump didn't say go in the building. Ray Epps said go in the building. That guy's a fucking Fed. Or he's a paid informant, one or the other. Sure looks like a GS-15 material to me. Mr. fucking still got a high and tight and wearing a fucking freshly minted Trump hat with no fucking sweat marks on it. Yeah, I bet you're from MAGA country, huh? No, that guy's a fucking CIA officer and an analyst. It's what they fucking do. I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I promise you, if you take any amount of time to look into what I'm saying and look up Ray Epps, RAYEPPS, look up Ray Epps, FBI, and there's just video after video after video of him trying to incite an insurrection? maybe fucking arrest that guy. No, if anybody could be charged, it's that guy. It's not the grandma that they're trying to fucking lock up for the rest of her life. It's not the lady that wasn't even there inside the building, that they went to her house in fucking Alaska to steal her laptop because they thought it was Nancy Pelosi's. Yeah, that really happened. But most people don't know that because they watch the news. Most people don't know that because they get their news from Facebook. Most people don't know that because they get their news from MSNBC and CNN and CBS and ABC. Even Fox, even OAN, even fucking, what's the other stupid one? Not OAN, but Newsmax. Even them. They're trying to be edgy and get a piece of the fucking market share because Fox is dominating and they want to copy that. Okay? But they're fucking saying the same exact fucking thing that CNN is saying, but just with a little less conviction. Well, yeah, it's violence. Everybody's against violence. I'm not. I'm not against violence. You know why? Because that is what they want you to. That's what the box they try to put you in. Oh, you're not. Are you not for violence? Are you? You go, no, I'm not. Oh, dude, no. And even I fucking said it because I'm telling you, I have gotten such an education in the last year. Even I said, man, everybody that friggin' broke the law should be, because I wanted to be morally correct. Okay. Turns out, this flag says a lot right here. An appeal to heaven, not an appeal to government. Not an appeal to Congress, not an appeal to a man, an appeal to God, okay? Now, it's not very Christian to say, I'm willing to do violence, except that it kind of is. If you're willing to stand by and not do violence against somebody who's evil, who's actively hurting people, be like, well, it's not the Christian thing to do. I really shouldn't hurt that man. What does that make you? An enabler of violence? Come on, let's be pragmatic. Let's talk this. Let me talk this thread out. Even Jordan Peterson had something to say about this, and this guy's way smarter than me. This guy's a fucking genius. He says, it's not enough to be non-violent. They say, you have to become a monster. Be an absolute monster, a force to be reckoned with. Willing to do the most heinous violence in the world. Oh, I got cut off. I'm cut off. Am I cut off right now? Okay, I got cut off there. Willing to do the most heinous violence in the world and then control yourself and don't do it. But be able and willing to. Why? Because being a lame duck and being basically victim bait, there's nothing virtuous about that. What is virtuous is acknowledging that you're a fallen person, acknowledging that you are with sin, and then not doing it. That is moral. That's power. That's real fucking power, man. And I know I'm sounding waxing philosophical here, but that's what we need. That's what I know. Some of y'all are just watching for the entertainment value because I might rant again, which I will. But let's take a nugget. Let's take a nugget with you, okay? Thank you, Elizabeth, for giving me Ray Epps' name. Appreciate it. Because I almost lost it there. But think about it. Be willing to do violence and then don't unless you have to. Let's do this. How about I'm bringing Patrick Swayze into the argument here. Roadhouse. What's he say? Be nice until it's time not to be nice anymore. Boom. No truer words have ever been fucking spoken. Rest in peace, King. Also, I got some bones to pick with Patrick Swayze. He's been dead for a long time now. Still hasn't made Ghost 2. Yeah. Fucking said it. I went there. So, am I mad about the violence? No. I was mad about a lot of the violence, though. A lot of the other violence because I politically don't agree with communists and anarchists. Now, when I say anarchists, I don't mean like fucking, what's that? Michael Malice. I don't mean him because he's obviously a peaceful guy. And he's talking about like an intellectual anarchism. I mean the actual people who want to bring chaos for the sake of chaos because they're evil, right? This is where Alex Jones will go off and be like, interdimensional child molesters. Oh, they're here. They're going to fucking suck the blood out your life. Okay, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they are evil, and they don't care that they're evil because they just want pleasure and ease. They want easy life. They want the government to give them everything. You know what it is? Once we were talking about Huxley and the aversion to pain. What is pain? Is the thing that teaches you everything about in your life. Life is a struggle. Life is meant to be hard. Don't ask God for an easy life. Ask God for the strength to go through the struggles and the challenges that you're going to go through. That's what makes you a strong person. And I've had a lot of adversity in my life, okay? I'm not saying that I'm some sort of fucking sob story or anything. I've had friends of mine that I've told stories to because if anybody's ever heard me tell a story, you know that I tell funny stories and sometimes self-deprecating, and sometimes they're real dark and bad things happen to people. But I have a humorous outlook on life, right? And when I tell a story, I had a friend of mine when I was in the Marine Corps in Okinawa said, "Man, if I had your childhood, I probably would have killed myself." And I was like, "Don't fuck around like that." He goes, "No, seriously, I don't know if I could have handled that." And now I'm recalling that now and thinking that in the context of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, not everybody's made the same. We're not all equal. The only thing that we're equal under is under God, is under the Lord. That's the only thing that makes us equal. We're not the same in height, in weight, in stature, in strength, and speed, and intelligence. I happen to be blessed with only the last one. Supposedly. But I used it to my full advantage. Okay? I was never strong, almost never stronger than my bullies. But a lot of times I was willing to make witty remarks about them to shame them and humiliate them. Now, that just made them beat up on me more until I lost it and finally would, leverage somebody, and then they'd leave me alone for a while. You have to have adversity in order to become strong. Steel, as all these fucking, the fitness guys on the YouTube like, steel sharpens steel, bro. It's like, yeah, okay, but that's true. Okay, so we need to be willing to up and to doing violence to those people who would take away our God-given freedoms and our rights. And when I say my rights, I mean the enumerated inalienable rights that are given to you from the Lord. Life, liberty, property. Okay? It was replaced with the pursuit of happiness in the second draft, but life, liberty, and property, because property implies value, and property also implies the value of the person who owns it, the respect that you give them, that you respect their property. It's kind of like a projection of the respect that you have for a person. Okay? Now, I'm not going to get super duper into that side of the philosophical argument, but that's what it is, okay? And these people, they want to take your property. They want to take you. They want to take it away from you. Mallory, what's up, my friend? Stackman podcast, right? Say the name of your podcast so I can plug it, bro. That's the man right there. I love you too. Timmy, what do you got to say? He said, I've seen movie scripts. Yeah, I know. I got like super duper like serious right there and talking about some stuff that makes people uncomfortable. They don't like to talk about God, especially because they think that it's gonna make them a hypocrite somehow. Yeah, that's the fucking point. That's why I say it. Because I can be a hypocrite sometimes and I want to hold myself accountable. So I'm saying the truth as best as I can articulate it to you about something that's very serious. And if we don't do something about it, I'm not saying just go and vote for all Republicans. I'm saying go vote for people who are willing to stand up for your rights. Some guy that's just like a truck driver. I think the truck driver has won. I think he became governor of the state of Virginia. So just a random driver was like, I like racism. I'm not going to do the fucking CRT. And people were like, vote for him. Vote for that guy. He goes, yeah, for pedophiles. And they were like, vote for that guy. Because all of the other people are racist pedophiles. All the people that are in the system. And I'm not being hyperbolic there. But you throw a stick in a room full of conservatives. You throw a stick in a room with a bunch of Democrats. You throw that Democrat room, you're going to hit 2 or 3 pedophiles. This room, probably not any. One way in the fucking back, but likely not. And that's just also, does that ring true when you hear it? Does that ring true? I think it does. Just seems to be that all the pedophiles happen to be on the fucking left wing. Okay. It just happened to. Tim, what did he say? He said, I mean, you've written movie scripts that I read. Yeah, dude, and that's actually a really good point about movie scripts and philosophy and the way when something rings true in a movie, when it sounds true, when the theme of the movie rings true to you. That's what people love. But when you subvert that and you write something in that's got some social justice underlayment, it doesn't ring true. And you're like, I don't know what it is about that movie. It's just kind of dumb. Like the new Home Alone, where it's like, these people are going to lose their house and it's ha ha ha, they're getting hurt because they won't just knock on the door and be like, hey, can I get that baseball card that I thought that you stole from me that you didn't really steal from me, but now it was in my house the whole time and happily ever after? That's the most subversive and ridiculous thing I've ever fucking heard. And by the way, I didn't watch it. I heard somebody describe it to me, and that's exactly how they described it to me. So let's bring this to a close. Recap. It snowed here. 1. 2. There was no insurrection, otherwise somebody would be charged with it. That's a fact. Okay? They broke a couple windows videos. Now, a lot of those guys were the Antifa and the FBI. Why aren't we arresting them? 3, if you are a regular person and you just don't give a shit about January 6th, that's good. Put it out of your mind. And the less that you watch the mainstream news, the less you're going to fucking remember. 2 years from now, you're going to be like, oh, that's right. The January 6th thing. Forgot about that. And that's how it should be. It's exactly how it should be. Because if there ever was a time for an insurrection, fucking now is it. Okay? It really is. It's ripe. It's ripe for a civil war. The country is. Now, nobody's going to actually fight in it because it's on the fucking computer. They're over here like fucking, oh, civil war. When it does break out, you'll fucking know. You'll fucking know. Because it'll start being, oh, well, you got to get the chip. And, oh, you can't go on the plane. And you got to do this. And you can't travel freely between states. That's already here. So as soon as it starts to inconvenience you, then you're going to go, oh, shit, Elie Wiesel was right. Oh, excuse me, not Elie Wiesel, but Alexander Solzhenitsyn was right. And if you don't know who Alexander Solzhenitsyn is, that's part of the fucking problem. I'm going to talk with Hagmeyer, who was on the last, not the last stream, that was Tim, the very first one. We talked about the Federal Reserve. We're going to talk about the Department of Education. And we're going to fucking tear it a new asshole because kids aren't literate. They don't know who Alexander Solzhenitsyn is. They can't, if you pointed a picture of Thomas Jefferson, they wouldn't know who the fuck it is. They don't even know who fucking Robert Frost is or Walt Whitman. Okay? We're losing literacy in this country at an alarming rate. And I'm sorry, I'm just tipping my hand on the next episode, but that's okay. And I also have another episode coming up with a neighbor of mine, Angela. We're going to talk about music, so a very specific genre. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. It's hardcore metal, but I'm going to take an interesting spin on it and have Angelo help me describe, because he's more of a hardcore fan than I am, help me describe to you the cultural significance of it and why it's lasted so long when other genres have been corporatized, watered down, taken over, and kind of like have no relevance. When you go to a metal show, it's all ages. It's the spectrum is why you want diversity. Go to a hardcore metal show and you will see everybody from every single end of every spectrum. It's fucking amazing. Mary saying, fuck yeah. And that's right. So that's the next episode coming up. And then I have another one with my buddy Julian. We haven't talked about the subject yet. That's going to come in a couple weeks. Right before we leave, though, Jerry has something to say. And Jerry's usually waxes poetic in a better way than I ever can. He says, most people seem uncomfortable bringing up God in a debate because they feel that bringing in a religious aspect to the discussion will simply be one more thing someone will latch onto and try to invalidate their opinion. Yeah. And this argument comes up a lot, especially when you say, well, that's not right because I believe that God, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, oh, God, you believe in the spaghetti monster, huh? It's like, that's, first of all, what that person just said is a logical fallacy. Okay. So the truth of the matter is I can talk about God all day. And as soon as I start straying away from things that you can actually prove that are tangible, yeah, criticize me on that. But Jerry's absolutely right. They want to criticize you for saying the word God and all of the things that comes with that, all the belief and the faith and the moral system. That's what it really is the moral system that comes with it. Because when you bring God into an argument, you're already winning from the facts. It's not only enough to slam dunk on them and say you're factually incorrect, and also morally you kind of suck too, because they don't want to be double slam dunked on when you bring up the moral argument. Okay, so and that's pretty much where I'm coming from. Where Jerry is articulating. He's saying we do need to bring this up more because other people, when you start bringing that up, people will come up to you and be like, "Yeah, man, I believe in God too. I just don't want people to know it." You know, even here in Tennessee, where we have like these huge, I have like 2 mega churches on either side of my neighborhood. They're huge. This is awesome. They're like there's a big Baptist church over here and then another big Baptist church over here, and they're great churches, and all the people that go there are great. But you know what is absent from interactions at the store and out in public, like that the God is absent, and we need to bring that back. I think that's just my opinion, and that's subjective. I'm not going to say that's factually true. That's subjective. My buddy Mal, fuck yeah, metalcore rules. Mal, before I leave, tell me your name of your podcast so I can plug it. I think it's Stackman. Mallory's got his own. Mallory, very interesting enough, he does like really long ruck hikes. I think he did the Baton ruck hike down there in I think it's Arizona, where you walk the distance of the Baton Death March, and with a couple of the survivors who walk a portion of it with him. It's pretty inspiring. We met at the Irreverent Warriors Silky Hike here in Nashville. Super cool guy. Dang. I was going to kind of wrap it up in a bow there, but we'll hit Mallory on the next one, man. So I have been Tyler Randall. Thank you guys so much for interacting with me. It gives me like the greatest boost to know that some people are watching, and some of these people have been watching the entire time. Hell yeah, Mal just did the Music City Marathon. Hell yeah. And that you guys are engaging with and talking, and we're actually kind of having like a narrative being oh my gosh, I'm losing my words here at the end. But that you guys are engaging and we're going back and forth, and you guys are keeping me on track and asking questions, and we're going a different direction. So that's really close to my heart. I really enjoy that. So till the next episode, as Snoop Dogg says, peace. End broadcast. I clicked